What up, this is Rama Screen covering movies, TV, and entertainment, and here's my review of Netflix's new documentary series, Immigration Nation. Hey, before you watch my review, please subscribe to my channel, press that like button, and ring that bell so you can get notified whenever I post new videos. And if you would like to help support this channel, please do so at patreon.com/ramascreen. That's patreon.com/ramascreen. Let's rock this. Okay, as I've mentioned to you many times before, I am an immigrant. So anything that relates to immigration is something that hits home for me. Now, I'm gonna share with you how I feel about the substance presented in this docu. I'm just gonna get a bit political nearing the end of this video. But first, I'm gonna judge Immigration Nation based on its documentary qualities. To say that Immigration Nation is unprecedented would be the understatement of the year. Filmmaking team Saul Schwartz and Christina Clouseau really go deep into the heart of this whole issue. They even managed to get access into areas and people and facilities, basically the places and the perspectives that mainstream media is too lazy to cover because these are not what you would consider ratings booster. The other thing that I think this documentary does a remarkable job on is it highlights the nuances or the complicated gray areas. People who might cry that this documentary is pro-Trump, or people who might cry that this documentary is left-wing propaganda, they would watch this whole docu and discover that the issue is not as simple as team this or team that. Yes, maybe many of the ICE officers have drunk from the American exceptionalism Kool-Aid, but you can't paint with a broad brush when some of them do feel conflicted about their job. And this documentary series also constantly and responsibly gives you objective facts as to when such and such policy began and when did they escalate, etc., etc. In addition to humanizing many of the detainees. You see, in many cases, audiences would watch the latest news about immigration on their TV set and then they just go back to their dinner because there's that detachment. They have no idea that these are people who have feelings and families and children and hopes and fears and aspirations just like you and me. Okay, let's get to the substance of it all as I'm winding down to my final thoughts. I think and I hope that this 6-part documentary series will broaden the horizon and open the minds of so many people who probably prior to this only have a tunnel vision about immigration. By showcasing the ICE agents, the attorneys, the undocumented immigrants, the pundits, the deported veterans, nobody can accuse this documentary series of not being well-rounded because Immigration Nation goes out of its way to deliver varying, brutally honest opinions. It really doesn't get more comprehensive and more relevant than this. So here's my personal take on this whole matter. I think immigrants have been unfairly demonized. Now, I'm not talking about MS-13 or the criminals that do need to get deported because they've broken the law. I'm talking about the hard-working folks who don't even receive the benefits from the taxes they pay because they're not citizens. Look, for the past 4 decades or so, our government policies have unfortunately redistributed the wealth to the top 1% by way of bailouts, subsidies, tax cuts after tax cuts, and they've redistributed the burden to the middle class, which is why the middle class are disappearing. So that is what essentially has been happening since the 80s to this day. People who run out the back door with all the money tell the little guys, hey, it's the immigrants' fault that you lost your jobs, your pensions, that your homes got foreclosed on. Really? The immigrants who have no power, the immigrants who work the jobs that Americans won't. Really? Those immigrants Was it the immigrants who crashed the economy back in 2008? No, they did not. So the powerful are pitting us, the people, against each other and against the powerless, while they continue to rob our tax money and cut our social safety nets. And if you think that this is all Donald Trump's fault, well, I got news for you. Trump's administration only exacerbates what has already been in place. For example, the deportation of immigrant veterans who fight and risk their lives to defend our country's freedom. The evil policies of deporting them have been enacted since Bill Clinton's era. So what Trump's administration basically does is take advantage of those loopholes and apply extra thuggish measures on them. So these are the things that I wish this documentary could have emphasized more. But I think for what it is, Immigration Nation is already phenomenal in that it dares to tackle the nooks and crannies that other immigration documentaries probably would not shed light on. If anything, this docuseries, Immigration Nation, will generate empathy and will function as a call to action.